This is R.D. Sharma Solution Class 12 Chapter 18 Maxima and Minima. Exercise is 18.5. Show that the maximum volume of the sphere that can be inscribed in a sphere of radius 5 root 3 centimeter is 500 pi centimeter cube. Now just imagine a sphere that contains the maximum volume cylinder. So I am drawing a cylinder which is inside a sphere. Just imagine this is in 3D. They both are 3D shapes. Now when you join the center of this cylinder or center of the sphere with any corner or any circumference, you get the radius. So we are assuming cylinder as HR as the height and the radius, and V is the volumes. For sphere, we will take it as capital R. So we assume this to be capital R. Now from here to here, this is the height. For example, this is the height 10. So 5 will be above, 5 will be the lower part. So this above part will be h by 2. The lower part will be h by 2. That's how you will get the maximum volume. That is quite, evident. So now we have the cylinder here. In this cylinder, this is the center. This is hole is edge. So this is h by 2, h by 2. Now I am joining the center to one of the corner of the cylinder. This is the capital R and this is small r, and this one is h by 2. Now from this figure or this triangle, what do you get? Use the Pythagoras theorem. Capital R square is equal to small r square plus h by 2 whole square. So this second step is, or you can say first was the imagination step. We imagined or assumed everything. Second step, we tried to find out a relationship between all these assumed variables R, h, r and capital R. So we got r square equals to capital R square minus h square by 4. The third thing is the volume. Volume is what? Pi r square h. And from here, from first equation, we'll put the value in the second equation. So this is going to be capital R square minus h square by 4, pi r square into h. Now you can just multiply this h inside, you'll get r square h minus h cube by 4. This is capital V. Now next step will be to differentiate this. When we differentiate this, of course, we have radius as constant because it is already given in the question. It is 5 root 3. So this is going to be dv by dh, which is pi r square, and this is h cube is 3h square by 4. And then next step, which is the fifth one, is dv by dh equals to 0. Now this pi into r square minus 3h square by 4 is 0, and then we'll get a relationship between r and h. So r square will be 3h square by 4. R will be equal to 3 by under root 3 by 2 into h. From here you can get h equals to 2r by root 3. So there are two relationship which we are getting here. R is under root 3 by 2h. H is twice of r by under root 3. Let me write it here, and you can call it as next step. R is equal to root 3 h by 2. How about h? Just told you. You can also use this equation number 1 in order to get a relationship also, but you are going to end up with the same thing. So if you want to put this capital R here, there will be a relationship between h and r. Do we need it? We don't. Why? Because 5 root 3 is the capital R, so we need to keep this capital R along with us. Okay, next one will be, the next step is, because the values are already being provided, 5 root 3 is there, 500 pi is there, so h can be written as twice of r by under root 3. This is you can call it as a third equation. H is twice of capital R by root 3. Next thing or next step will be d2v by dh square. The differentiated value has to be double differentiated. Now I am double differentiating it, keeping it to 0, placing it against 0. So I am differentiating r square will be 0 because it is a constant. You can see that 5 root 3 is already given. This 3h square by 4 is differentiated, and don't worry about the value. Just worry about the sign. It's going to be negative because all other components here, you will find it that they cannot be negative at all. So it's negative equation because negative sign is there. So 2r by root 3 you can write in place of h, and this you don't have to do that because you know that it is negative, so you know that you're talking about maximum volume. So this is maximum volume. Just the sign indicates whether you are going to get the maximum or the minimum. We started with V, differentiated it, equated it to 0, then we did the double differentiation and found the sign to be negative, that is indicating maximum. Next one is the actual question being asked, that is, you have this sphere as radius 5 root 3. You have to tell odds show that the volume of the cylinder is going to be 500 pi. So pi r square h is there in this r square, because it's pi r square h, it's small r square. We need the capital R. So pi capital R square minus, in place of h, write 2r by root 3, and then again h will come pi r square h, so you can just write this 2r by root 3. Now all this computation by placing radius capital R as 5 root 3 is going to give you the volume as 500 pi. So I'm just computing it, but I know that this is quite self-evident, and just use this 5 root 3 in order to get the volume, and that is going to be 500 pi centimeter. Hence we proved it. Alright, so the whole steps is the diagram first. From diagram you get r square equals to capital R square minus h square by 4. That defines this question. If you are able to make this, that is the key. I'm again reiterating, the equation 1 is the most important aspect of this question. Differentiation, double differentiation, equating it to 0, putting the value 5 root 3, it can be done by you. But this all this has come from a diagram, and that diagram has actually given us this equation number 1, where we just place 5 root 3 finally and got this 500 pi. Show that among all positive numbers x and y with x square plus y square equals to r square, the sum x y is largest when x equals to y equals to r root 2. So this is r by root 2x. X and y is equal to r by root. Now what will be the first thing? First thing is x square plus y square is equal to r square. This is already given in the question. And x and y you have to tell that it's going to be r by root 2. So we'll work with x plus y, because this is the equation which has to be shown as largest. But using the first equation, which is x square plus y square equals to r square, from here you will get y square equals to r square minus x square. So you can get value y equals to under root r square minus x square. This is the first equation you got. Second thing is this x plus y. Now you need to actually express that it is largest. But this is x plus y, you cannot write just like that. You have to equate it with some variable. The capital Z we have taken as the variable here. Now this x plus y, in place of y I am writing it as under root r square minus x square. So this dz by dx, I am now differentiating it, and since we are differentiating it with respect to x differentiation will be 1. This under root r square minus x square will be minus 2x divided by twice of under root r square minus x square. Next thing is equating this to 0. dz by dx has to be equated to 0. When you equate it to 0, this 1 will be equal to 2x by 2 under root x r square minus x square. 2 will get cancelled. X will be equal to under root r square minus x square, or you can write it as x square equals to r square minus x square, because both sides can be squared. In order to get rid of under root, you can just square it. So this 2x square becomes r square. So x square is equal to r square by 2. So x will be equal to r by root 2. Now you see in the question it is asked that x and y should be equal to r by root, and we got it. But you have just got x, and for the sake of completion we are going to find out y also. Now in this equation 1 you can place y equals to under root r square minus r by root 2 whole square. I am replacing now x by r by root. So this y again will be r by root 2. So both the values of x and y gave us r divided by root of 2. Now the largest stuff has to be also done in this question. For that we will double differentiate. So 1 minus 2x divided by twice of under root r square minus x square has to be differentiated again. When you differentiate it again, you will get certain value. Don't worry about the value, worry about the sign. So once you get the sign, that sign has to be negative, because the negative sign will signify that you are talking about largest value or the maximum value, and when you have the positive value, it is indicating you are going to get the otherwise values. Now d2z by dx square, again I am just double differentiating. All these are positives, only negative sign indicates that you are going to get the largest or the maximum value. So this is the another step, and r, x and y we already got, and that is similar to the question, which is r by root. So first is using x square plus y square equals to r square, then differentiating x plus y, and then finally showing that it is actually maximum or largest. X equals to y equals to r by root 2. Determine the points of the curve, this one, x square equals to 4y, which are nearest to the point 0,5. Now you have to see it very carefully. There are 4 to 5 questions like this. This is the second one. Now the next one, third one. Now why I'm showing you all this? Because all these questions are exactly similar. So if you understand one of it, you will be able to use that logic in others as well. So there are 3 to 4 questions which are exactly similar. They have no change at all except the values. Somewhere you have x square equals to 4y, somewhere where you have x square equals to 2y. Somewhere you have y square equals to 2x, somewhere you have y square equals to 4x. So determine the points on this curve which are nearest to the point 0 to 5. I know this curve x square equals to 4y, and I would like you to tell me whether it is a parabola or a hyperbola or any conic section. So I randomly drew a shape. Call it as the x square equals to 4y. Now there is a point 0 to 5, 0 and 5. Now this distance from xy, let us say that you have a point in this curve xy. Now this distance from xy to 0 to 5 should be lowest, minimum or nearest. So x square equals to 4y. This xy is nearest to which one? 0, 5. So now what we are going to do? We will use this equation, try to find out the distance equation and then go about it. So from x square equals to 4y, you can use this to get y equals to x square by 4. When we have y equals to x square by 4, we will find out the distance. Distance is between xy and 0 and 5. So y2 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus x1 whole square. If the 2 points are x1, y1 and x1, y1 and x2, y2. So this is the equation of the distance. Distance is simply this one. You have to take the difference of the x and y coordinates, square them and add them and take the under root. Now you can just swap them in whichever way you want, but we have found out the distance as x minus 0 whole square plus y minus 5 whole square and add them and under root. Same thing I am doing it here. So now we have got an equation, and this equation, as I told you, that if we take some variable, we square it also, it doesn't affect our final result. So we will call it as d, but we need to get rid of the under root. So in order to get the under root eliminated, you can just square both sides. So this d will be d square. On the right, we are calling it on the left d square as z. On the right, this root will get eliminated, and this is going to be x square plus y minus 5 whole square. Now you have y equals to x square by 4. Remember equation number 1. This equation number 1, y equals to x square by 4, has to be replaced here. So it will be x square by 4 minus 5 whole square in place of y minus 5. Now after this, you can just expand this. X square by 4 minus 5 whole square. You get x square by 16 plus 5 is 25 minus twice into 5 into x square by 4. So finally dz by dx has to be computed. What do you think? It has to be dz by dy or dz by dx? Of course, when you have x on the right hand side, you are going to differentiate it with respect to x. Now I am differentiating it, and differentiation is quite clear to you, so you can just write the final result. I am doing it for you because this will not take much time, but sometimes the differentiation takes more than the question time. So that's why I generally give this task to you. I'm differentiating it now. Now x square will be 2x, x raised 4 by 16 is 4x raised, x to cube by 16, and 25 will be 0. This is 5 by 2, x square will be 2x. Okay, now this one, 2x minus 5x is a negative 3x. So you are going to get 4x cube by 16 minus 3x. And this will be dz by dx. What do you think will be the next step? Of course, this has to be placed against a 0 in order to get the critical points. So this differentiation has to be equated to 0. That just means 4x cubed by 16 is equal to 3x. Now you can just cancel x. You will get a value of x here. Basically, x square is 3 into 16 by 4. So you will get the value of x. Again, 4 4s are 16. This is going to be 12. Under root of 12 is 4 into 3 is 12. 2 will come out, so it will be 2 root 3. So we got the value of x now. I'm just going to write it in a bit. But the points have to be computed. X is already known to us now. So this x square equals to 12 just means x will be equal to plus minus twice of root. And as I told you, the points or the coordinate points can be in any quadrant. So you have to take both plus and minus sign. So x2 has to be equal to plus minus twice of under root. Now this we are going to place in the equation number 1. So this equation number 1 is going to give you the value of y. Now your question will be, are we going to use positive or negative? So let me again reiterate that all these different quadrants will give you different value of x and y, negative and positive. So you cannot ignore the negative value. You have to take negative, positive both. So y becomes now, when you place it in x square by 4, either it is negative root 2 root 3 or plus 2 root 3, it won't affect. It will be 2 into 2 root 3 into root 3, that is 2 to the 4 into root 3. So 4 into 3 divided by 4, and this is going to be 3. So now you have x and y values. One more step is there, because you need to tell that this distance is a nearest. For that you have a d2z by dx2, double differentiation of 4x cubed by 16 minus 3x has to be done. So 4x cubed by 16 minus 3x differentiation. Don't worry about the value. Worry about the sign, because the whole idea is finding out what is the sign, because the nearest is the minimum. For minimum you need a positive sign. All right, so you need a positive sign. So this is d2z by dx square, and when you place this x square as 2 root 3, you can just keep this value and find out the value. But again, you know what I'm going to tell. Don't worry about the value, worry about the sign, because the sign tells you whether it is nearest or the farthest. So I'll just write the value. These are simple calculations, and I hope that you are quite well versed and known to all this. So I'm just trying to tell you that this is definitely going to be the lowest. For that you need a positive. So you get a value 6, which indicates that d2z by dx2 is indeed giving you a positive value, showing that you're talking about the minimum or the nearest. So positive is minimum, positive is nearest. So the shortest distance and the longest distance. So nearest is shortest. You might be thinking I am reiterating and telling things again and again, but when you will just in subconscious, when I say you so many times, it will be fed into your subconscious. Even in your dream you will see, oh, nearest or lowest means positive, the highest or the maximum, you should get a negative in d2z by dx square. So all these is self-explanatory, and again saying that next question which you see here and other questions, they follow the same routine, same process, same explanation. So I hope you don't have any problem if we just go through and pass by all these questions which have the same logic, only the numbers have been changed, only x and y has been changed, and that will not affect your knowledge which you have gathered in question number 28. Again, the same thing. We have done this question with x square equals to 4y. This question has exchanged the value of x and y and 4 with 2. So the logic remains the same. So this question number 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, all are similar. Okay, and these are the solutions, and I strongly recommend that you solve this by yourself. Any problem, then refer to these solutions, otherwise not. And this question we are going to take in the next discussion. Till then, thank you so much. Do take care of yourselves.